So coming off the bye week, like most coaches and most teams do, we went back and did a really deep dive into our cut-ups and some of the things we're doing well, some of the things we need to work on. And, you know, you get an opportunity, obviously, all year long to go back and look at your games and game tape and grade everything. And but I think having a good full week to go back and really take a good hard look at personnel schemes, what teams are trying to do to us and what we're trying to do to other teams. And so it was a really good week. I think we have some good ideas coming out, and we know what we need to work on, and that'll be the emphasis going forward. And we're really looking forward to get back on the field on Sunday afternoon.
What's the chances Jerome's back there returning kicks for you guys Sunday?
Yeah, he's still. I don't know what that period is called when they come back from the IR. He's definitely an option because I thought he did a really nice job for us before he got hurt. So that he remains one of our options there.
You did that self-scouting, field goals blocked in each of the last two games. Did you see a commonality there? What did you?
I thought really the long one against Baltimore, like we talked about, Harrison did a great job, Malik Harrison for them. He was right at the line of scrimmage, so protection was good. The kick was probably a tad bit low, but it was a 60-yarder. And then the one against Cincinnati, it was a low kick. We just need to do a better job with elevation consistently. And the great thing about Cade is that he's so confident in his abilities, and our guys are confident in him, and we as coaches and obviously our players. He comes back at the end of the first half and hits a 55-yarder after McPherson missed his. So that was a huge swing for us. That's a big 6-point swing at the end of the half, and then we got the ball coming out of the half, coming into the third quarter. So that was a big play for us.
Much does Cade, or maybe any kicker, excuse me, focus on the trajectory, like on any given kick? Like, is that part of the thought process, or is it just kind of how he strikes the ball?
I think how you strike the ball is going to give you that elevation. I think it's extremely important, especially in our league. There's so many big men that come through the A and the B gap. So, but on that particular play, the protection was solid. We just got to get the ball up in the air. And we've talked about this before, but when I evaluate kickers in either their offseason for free agency or the draft, we talk about timing, so it doesn't get blocked off the edge. We talked about elevation, so it doesn't get blocked up the middle. And then, of course, we talk about accuracy, which is common theme that of all great kickers. So those are things we're looking at. So his timing's been excellent since he's been here. The snap and holds have been good. So he just got to focus on elevation going forward. And I know he had a really nice day yesterday, and we're going to have another nice day tomorrow.
I guess with Cade overall, I mean, going back to the evaluation process with him at the half point of his rookie year, has he kind of been everything you envisioned he would be once he got here?
Absolutely. He's a 21-year-old kid. I mean, he's everything I thought he would be in terms of talent and leg strength and his mental approach to the game, how important it is to him, how he's really, whenever he's had a day in practice where it's not been as good or a game that he misses a kick, he goes back and does a really nice job of evaluating why. Why did he miss a kick or why did he hit the ball low? And he goes out and does everything he can to correct it. He's a student of the game, and he's got a great mindset, got a great mental approach to it. So he's everything I thought he would be. And of course, you always want your kicker to make every kick. It's just not humanly possible. So I'm excited for his future and here in Cleveland. And, of course, the rest of the year he's going to help us win a lot of games down the stretch.
Mike, Cade was saying after the Bengals game that after he had the first one blocked, he went out there and, his words, pissed off kicking. It would seem almost counterintuitive to go out kicking angry.
Yeah.
But, I mean, is that just...
I think probably a more accurate description would have been, hey, he's going to buckle down. He's so competitive, and that's probably what he meant. He didn't kick angry. He was just mad at himself. I'm going to go out and I'm going to make this next kick. And with that competitive fire in his belly that he has, all great ones do, and he definitely has that. So, like I said, not many kickers, especially at his level of experience, at his age, misses a kick early and goes out and hits a 55-yarder that could have been good from who knows how long. I mean, he crushed that ball. And so I was real proud of that, and I think that's a tribute to him and to his mental approach to the whole process.
I guess one of the toughest parts about coaching special teams is each play had the potential to be big. Like if you're the offensive coordinator or the quarterback, you could throw an incomplete pass and the next play throw a touchdown pass. But it seems like each play of your unit could swing a game.
Sure. Well, that's why I love what I do. I mean, I have the best job in America. I get to work with the whole team, get to affect young men in a positive manner, get to coach football. I mean, and they're paying me to do it, so it's not a bad deal. But it can be stressful, but that's the part I love. That's why you have to approach every week and how do we win this game? How do we beat the Miami Dolphins? And it's different than how we beat the Cincinnati Bengals. It's different than how we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. So every game's different, and that's our challenge each week. But I love the coaching part of it, the teaching part of it, the scheme part of it, the motivation part of it. So, I love it.
From a motivational standpoint, how do you kind of rally the special teams troops? I mean, have you shown them all a lot of the good stuff they did? And it just seems like each game there's like maybe one thing or maybe one or two small
Sure.
things. So how do you get them to stop making the mental errors and the other, technique errors and kind of get special teams cleaned up?
So it goes back to, coaching matters, and every team across the NFL, no matter if you're the best team in the NFL in special teams or the last or anywhere in between, I think, you're always going to have a play here or a play there that, we were just talking about. You try to limit the mistakes, and we went back this past Monday and watched our top punt and kickoff plays, and we watched some plays that we should have done better on. So there's what I tell our guys all the time is the things you do well, that's our foundation. That's who we are, and let's build on that. The things we haven't done well, we need to correct, and we need to correct it fast, whether it's personnel or technique or scheme or whatever the case may be, or a combination thereof. So at the end of the day, that's my task, our task on special teams, to make sure that we limit those mistakes, keep building on the things we've done well, and go help our team win a bunch of games. Because complementary football, if we talk about all the time, that's huge. I mean, every time we go out there, it could involve either points on field goal and field goal block, or big, huge chunks of field position with punt return, kickoff, and kickoff return. So,
I know you drafted Cade York to make them within reason, but does it seem like you have more than your share of long field goals this first half?
yeah, I think anytime you have a rookie kicker, you want to try to limit. Coach and I talked about that when we drafted Cade. But it just turned out that, we had it week one, we had to hit a 58-yarder to win the game. The Chargers, we had to attempt a 54-yarder at the end of the game, a 60-yarder at the end of Baltimore. So it's just the situations that we've been in. You don't want to put your rookie kicker in those situations, but he's come through in some. In others, he's still growing. So I think down the road that'll help him. Like I said, I know when New England drafted Stephen Gostkowski years ago, Coach Belichick, I don't think they tried a 50-yarder that year. And the reason is because they wanted to make sure that he, laid that foundation of confidence. But Cade is a unique young man that he can handle those misses and come back like he showed on Monday night. I don't know if he tried a 50-yarder that season. You'd have to look that one up. But I know they purposely didn't try a lot of longer field goals. We've just been in situations at the end of the half or the end of the game where we've had to. So just a unique situation for us.
Look too far ahead, but you've got a really nice weather forecast in Miami, and then the rest of your games are kind of cold weather. You don't know you're going to get in Buffalo. You don't know what you're going to get here. How do you keep your special teams unit prepared for a nice weather game, knowing that there's inclement weather on the horizon, and not let it get to their game too much?
So anytime we've had poor weather, we haven't had a lot of poor weather, because we always talk about Cleveland is God's country, like it has been the last 2 days. The weather's been perfect. But we practice in a lot of good weather. We've practiced when the team's inside, when it's raining and windy, we go outside and we kick and we punt and we snap. And every Friday we have a wet ball. We call them wet ball drills. We take the ball and squirt water on it. We snap, we hold, we kick. We do all the things that we would do in a rainy game. So we're always preparing for those type of situations. And we have enough wind around here that we can prepare for the wind too. Tailwind, crosswind, left to right, headwind, whatever we have, we can practice here at our facility.
Question, like, what's the temperature? What's that impact just on Cade kicking? Does it really? I mean, is it yardage? Is it just how much of an impact?
I think warmer weather helps any punter or kicker, to be honest with you, but it helps their guys too. So I kind of like our stadium when you come in and you don't kick and punt here a lot, and the wind really affects you. In pregame, during the game, you lose confidence, and so like I said, our stadium, we always want that to be a huge home field advantage for us, and the more Cade kicks here, the better he will be. The more Corey kicks here and punts here, the better he will be as well.
Mike, when you're struggling to generate explosive plays in the return game, are you tempted to try to generate those somewhere else, whether it's a fake or a block, or do something to make kind of a game-changing play?
I think at the end of the day, you don't want to overreact, because when you overreact, that's when mistakes get made. You have to believe in the process, believe in the coaching, believe in what we're doing. And when the opportunities arise, and just we got to go out and execute. We've had 2 penalties on kickoff return this year. That's what really burns me, because those are killers for our offense. When we're starting to drive at the 8, the 9, the 12-yard line, we just can't have those. Other than that, kickoff return's been pretty good. We haven't had a ton of opportunities. There's been a lot of touchbacks, and like there is across the league. But when we've had the opportunities, we've done a pretty decent job. You take away those 2 holding calls, and we've done much better. But unfortunately, you can't. So that's what we have to eliminate. We eliminate the holding calls on KOR. We're in much better shape. Punt return, we just got to get the ball downhill, just downfield, and Donovan had an 11-yarder the other day. He tripped, but he got 11 yards on a line drive kick, and we were pressuring. The thing we've done a good job, we pressured punts all year. We've come close on 3. I'd like one of those to turn into a block someday, but the more you pressure punters, the more you're going to force line drive kicks, the better chance you have to get good field position.